Good evening. This is Eswatini TV News at 8. I'm Natalie Sitole alongside Zamanzi Manze. First up, let's have a look at our top stories. The Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku has officially opened the Eswatini clinic at Eswatini and Mkiweni constituency. Minister for Agriculture Jabulani Mabuza says agricultural information dissemination is key to decreasing the country's agricultural imports. The Central Bank of Eswatini has announced a hike in interest rates from 6.75% to 7.25%. The news. The Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku says it is government's responsibility to ensure that Maswati have access to quality health services. Masuku has been speaking during the official opening of Eswatini clinic at Eswatini and Mkiweni in Nkundla.
Speaking during the officiation of the Eswatini clinic, the Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku said that the government is trying by all means to put life first by bringing government projects nearer to the nation.
Impilo ngiyona ihamba embili eve bonga hambe ofundzela agriculture elemu noma kuphi kepha na ungaphili ngeke uyicetse nale course lokhu ungahamba wente noma yini okwentako nakude impilo awungeke ukwente lolufuna kwenta.
The Minister of Health, Liz Nkosi, said that the minister's motive is to ensure that every Swazi is well catered for health-wise.
Litiko letempilo linemgomo lotsite lotsi ufuna kubete umuntu eveni losalela ngaphandle nangabe kutholwa tempilo. Kusho ukuthi sifuna kufika kuwonke umuntu lapha eveni. Ngesilumbi sikubita nge-universal health coverage.
Mkiweni Member of Parliament Michael Masoko thanked the government by helping the Nkundla through health matters.
Nokuhamba embili ekwenteni noma ngabe yini langidla noma ngabe ngifuna kwenta amabhizinisi noma ngabe ngifuna kwenta ini uma ningaphili kude lengakhona kwenta. So-ke uhulumende wenyama ukukhombisile lokho naye umlisa simbonge ukuthi avula iphalamende nathi sibasemkiweni sidive sijabula sihlokoma uma siva abala ukuthi kuletinye tetibhedlela letakhiwe letisihlanu kulohulumende lokhona ifaka egazi isibhedlela saseSijokoto eLuve enkundleni yasemkiweni.
Through the government mission in bringing help closer to the nation, 6 clinics have been constructed since 2018 so that people will be assisted easily. Reporting for Eswatini TV News is Bonkosi Magagula at Eswatini. The Minister of Agriculture, Jabulani Mabuza, says agricultural information dissemination is key in decreasing agricultural imports. The minister has been speaking during a certificate handover ceremony for farmers trained by Ufalme on quality and standards.
Ufalme Pty Ltd, in partnership with the European Union and the International Trade Center, trained over 500 fruits and vegetable farmers on best agricultural practices. Speaking during a certificate handover ceremony, the Minister of Agriculture, Jabulani Mabuza, said it is important for farmers to be well versed on agricultural practices. Speaking during a certificate handover ceremony, the Minister of Agriculture, Jabulani Mabuza, said it is important for farmers to be well versed on agricultural practices to improve agricultural produce in the country.
About 500 smallholder vegetable farmers have benefited from this program and have been empowered to be able to produce more high-quality products. The good agricultural practices and farm operations, planning and management training will undoubtedly be useful to the beneficiaries as they venture into a true commercial operation.
EU Ambassador to Eswatini, Desislava Chumelova, touched on the importance of partnerships.
It is important to support farmers in this country, create jobs, create livelihoods, and make sure that you have money to pay school fees, to build businesses, and you should see future in agriculture. So partnerships are absolutely instrumental.
The farmers were also trained on agricultural quality and standards. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samkal Suekoza with Sikumbuzo Dlamini, Sipochosini.
The Ministry of Information, Communications and Technology Principal Secretary Pesha Dube pleads with parents to inculcate the culture of reading by reading and sharing stories with their children, as reading at home boosts school performance. Dube said this during the commemoration of World Book and Copyright Day at the School for the Deaf in Matsetsa.
Eswatini National Library Service Director Tutu Dlamini says at least 1,000 people utilize national libraries across the country a day.
Unfortunately, most of the books that are there are outdated, are old, and they are few. So we will appreciate if our ministry can support us there, buy books, buy tablets, so that the children can be encouraged. Because we are aware that nowadays children prefer gadgets to traditional books.
The Minister of Information and Communications and Technology Principal Secretary Pesha Dube was represented by the Director of Information Senani Khumalo.
Reading also inspires creativity and help keep minds sharp. It is for this reason, therefore, that we need and should celebrate books more than ever. Furthermore, reading at home boosts school performance, increases vocabulary, raises self-esteem, builds communication skills, and also strengthens the prediction engine, that is the brain.
Federation of Disabled People in Eswatini President Bongan Makama says disabled people should not be left out, as most books are now found in e-books.
I make sure when we go digital, we go so
School for the Deaf Principal Nomza Maseko encourages learners to read in order to have a bright future. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla with Smova Shongwe Matsetsa.
The Eswatini Public Procurement Regulatory Agency CEO Vusmutwe Mvotsa Mathebula says social inclusion in public procurement is key to the country's development aspirations. Mathebula has been speaking during a closing ceremony of the Social Inclusion Workshop hosted in partnership with the World Bank.
On Friday, the Eswatini Public Procurement Regulatory Agency, SPPRA, closed the Social Inclusion through Public Procurement Workshop that was hosted in partnership with the World Bank. SPPRA CEO Vusmutwe Mvotsa unpacked the meeting's resolutions.
What came out today was the issue of people living with disabilities. Do we have buildings, offices that are accessible to them if they are using wheelchair, if they are using crutches? But also, we were also looking at if the opportunities are equally enough for them to participate in public procurement. One of the examples were made that when we take our tender documents, we expect everybody to be competing with, say, Usain Bolt, and yet other people are on wheelchairs, other people are on crutches, other people are visually impaired.
Participants, Representative Roseanne Peters, highlighted the importance of such trainings for suppliers.
I need to stick to the guidelines and know what my rights are as a bidder and someone submitting a bid, to refine skills at the end of the day, because this is such a big sector. We are constantly bidding in the private sector, government sector, and it's very, very important to know where you stand, how you stand, and how you progress.
Trained groups include persons with disabilities, government suppliers, amongst others. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samkal Suekoza with Sikumbuzo Dlamini, Pabane.
The Eswatini Electricity Company has signed an MOU with World Vision, where they have partnered in funding child-headed families with farming projects. The MOU was signed at the Electricity Company's headquarters in Babane.
The partnership is aimed at fighting youth unemployment through empowering the youth, especially child-headed families, which the project will focus on. It will help sustain them in education, health, and food security. The Eswatini Electricity Company Managing Director Ernest Mkonda says they aim to create positive change in societies that they operate in.
These will amount to about 792,000 eMandangeni. We have been informed that this will benefit at least 100 unemployed youths, young men and women, and it is very inclusive. It is not gender-sided. It is focusing on both gender. And it is important that we encourage that our development must not just focus on one side. It must focus on both sides.
World Vision Director Tina Mukunda says they are looking forward to a long-time fruitful partnership.
This project comes in handy to speak into those issues. As you might appreciate, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. And as youth stay idle and they're not employed, they are bound to be actually disruptive.
The two programs will benefit over 100 youth and families. Reporting I am Kian MC with Samuel Siwekoza and Skombuzo Dlamini, Babane.
Standard Bank has financially supported this year's choral music competition with 300,000 emalangeni. Wesley Cronin, the head of consumer affairs at Standard Bank, says there is so much talent within the choral music competition.
Standard Bank has announced a 300,000 sponsorship to the Eswatini choral music competition. The partnership between Standard Bank and the choral music will see growth in the singing talent in Eswatini. Wesley Cronin says they are eager to see growth in choral music competition. Thus, the donation of 300,000 emalangeni.
Namuhla beste kuto announce sponsorship for iminyaka wa 2023. Lokukhulu ke ngilokuthi sikhonile lokunyusa le sponsorship amount eminyakeni lophelile bese 250,000 emalangeni. Kulo mnyaka sinyukele saya ku 300,000 emalangeni. Sizathu self Standard Bank ukuthi sifise lokuthi sipartnerishe ne-association yaka choral ukuthi kude sikhona nje ukuthi sikhuthaze bamvu ukuthi bakhone kwenda letinye tinto batokhona ukuthi batijabulise bakhulise ama-talent abo labakhona lokuhlabela.
Sihle Kombi, the president of the Eswatini Choral Music Association, passed their gratitude for such a donation.
Sijabulela kakhulu namuhla ukuthi sponsorship sisithola and sekhuphukile ba 50,000 as compared to kulomnyaka lophelile. And nawubuka lesimo semnotho even bonge ucabange ukuthi libhange lingasikhuphula. So sijabulela kakhulu and bathanzi bemculo eSwatini amakwaya awatilungiselele kutaba mnanzi ngela kwendlela kulomnyaka lophelile noma ngabe kumnanzi last year but kulomnyaka kutaba mnanzi kwendlela lomnyaka lophelile. Sibonge kakhulu ebhange ukuthi basibambise ngale ndlela lena and it's been 27 years sinebudlelwane nelibhange.
He says they are in partnership with the bank for the past 27 years. Reporting I am Kian Msibi with Fabrice Msonera, Babane.
The Central Bank of Eswatini has announced an increase in interest rates from 6.75% to 7.25%. This is contained in the bank's monetary policy statement released on Friday.
The governor of the Central Bank of Eswatini, Dr. Philip Nisi, every 3 months releases a monetary policy statement after a meeting with the Monetary Policy Consultative Committee. On Friday, the bank released a statement stating that, taking into consideration relevant global, regional, and domestic economic factors, the bank decided to increase the discount rate by 50 basis points from 6.75% to 7.25%. The bank says on the domestic front, gross domestic product recorded an increase of 3.8% on a year-on-year basis. The country's headline consumer inflation rose to 5.7% in February this year compared to 5.3% in January 2023, according to the Central Bank of Eswatini. The bank elaborates that increases were noted in the price indices for food and non-alcoholic beverages. On credit extended to the private sector, the bank says, rose by 0.6% month to month to reach 17.4 billion emalangeni at the end of January this year. The statement concludes by highlighting that as of March 24, 2023, gross official reserves stood at 7 billion emalangeni, equivalent to an import cover of 2.3 months. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I am Samkel Suekoza in Babane.
Chief Justice Bheki Maphalala has admitted 57 lawyers as new attorneys of the High Court. After taking an oath of allegiance, Maphalala wished them well and implored them to guard against any form of corruption and always uphold the law.
And to wish you success in your profession and careers, and I trust the Almighty God will be with you. I thank you and thank you thank also for the parents and guardians of the newly admitted attendants.
Eswatini TV's Brains on the Go Season 14 has come to an end. Eswatini TV's Communications Officer Nompumelelo Dlamini says the learners gained knowledge on different topics since the first day of the program.
Brains on the Go Season 14 has come to an end. Participants showed enthusiasm and gained knowledge on local, regional and global news during the course of the program. The Eswatini TV PRO Nompumelelo Dlamini says they were glad to have been a part of the students' lives since day one of Brains on the Go.
Kithi kumgcoka kakhulu singeSwatini TV ukuthi sibambisane nabo abantwana besikolo, especially those from underprivileged and financially challenged backgrounds kanti banfana lobo bona ukuthi academically they are gifted. Singumsakazo kudawati ukuthi ingcikithi yethu ukuthi we inform, we educate kanti futhi siphindze futhi sibe nato tinhlelo nato letifundisako. So education is one of our leading lokho sithokozisa kakhulu ke kulomnyaka ukuthi sibonile lona umsebenzi uba impumelelo kakhulu kanti even though this is the 14th year sibona solo uya ngekukhula. Now ukhumbula emuva abantwana lebe baba part of Brains on the Go besingagcini nje ngokuthi baphume kumbe nemhlomelo lothide kodwa besiphindze futhi sibuyele sibalanzelele because labanye babo ukukhumbula ukuthi they also got a chance ukuthi they were adopted into families lapho bebabasita khona paying for their tuition, labanye they got scholarships, and ukukhumbula ukuthi we also have a pilot lowa niketwa umfundzate ngoba wabonakala ku Brains on the Go.
Uvuyolwethu Mlilo was pronounced as the overall winner of season 14 and walked away with a brand new laptop.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner for Brains on the Go 2023, Vuyolwethu Mlilo from Ngwane Central High School.
Reporting IMKN MCB at Sibane Hotel Zuluini.
And now let's have a look at our financial indicators.
It can be.
Moving on to our sports news, we begin our sports roundup with the MTN Premier League, where the biggest game of the weekend takes place, pitting Young Buffaloes against Mbabane Swallows on Sunday. The two teams' captains have explained what made this fixture between the two sides so exciting.
And in our sports roundup, we begin with the MTN Premier League games that will be entering day 20. The Titanic clash of the weekend will see number 2 on the log, Young Buffaloes, facing number 3 on the log, Mbabane Swallows. The two teams' captains being Young Buffaloes captain Nhlanhla Gwebu and Mbabane Swallows captain Tony Tabeze have explained what has always hyped the fixture between the two sides.
Head-to-head nabo Swallow most of the time my knockout. So we had to mazla Swallow every time. It's like nabo knockout was going to cup Swazi Bank, we have been competing well. That's what.
If we not is winner, ngendeka sibenge tulwa nabo if ba winner but awuvula kithi. So it's going to be a tense game, but it always tense namanga bekunjini kunini masidlala ne Buffaloes. So but we believe we will come with the 3 points on Sunday.
Moving on in gymnastics, the Federation's president, Lindelo Dlamini, says they'll be giving attention to schools as they're looking to select junior athletes as part of their development program.
Cishe lelibandla lonkana lale board comprises of botishela and ba strategically placed across cishe the four regions of the kingdom. So lokuhle ngutsi vele sinabotishela and sifise ukuthi sisebende will train the teachers who will then train their peers.
And in our international news, Manchester United Football Club has released their financial report with details of the club owing close to £1 billion. The reports indicate the reason behind the will of the Glazer family to sue the club. The Glazers took charge of the Red Devil back in 2005 when the club was debt-free. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, Mbabane.
That's all for now. Before I go, here's a reminder of our top stories. The Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku has officially opened the Siforoto Clinic at Ekutimleni and Mkiweni constituency. Minister for Agriculture Jabulani Mabuza says agricultural information dissemination is key to decreasing the country's agricultural imports. The Central Bank of Eswatini has announced a hike in interest rates from 6.75% to 7.25%. And that brings us to the end of the bulletin for the night. Up next is the update from myself and the team. Enjoy the weekend. Good night.
Get to Spar for 3 days of super deals and incredible savings across the store. Like 5 kg Spar IQF mixed chicken portions for just $171.99 and Huggies Dry Comfort Nappies or Nappy Pants Jumbo Pack for only $179.99. It's 3 days of incredible savings only at Spar.
Bring on the break with holiday entertainment for the whole family on DSTV. Maximize your experience by streaming on the DSTV app and upgrade your account using the My DSTV app. Bring on that local and international star power with brand new shows and sport. And of course, for the kids, bring on the fun. Visit DSTV.com to get connected. Bring on the break with DSTV.